Ladies and gentlemen, in nearly 3 weeks from now, Delhiites will vote and choose their government, new or old. We don't know that yet. But while tensions continue between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP, a new revelation by the Delhi police over the bomb hoaxes that have targeted city schools for almost a year have added fuel to the fire and can possibly even change the entire political narrative. Now, what happened is that the Delhi police has detained a teenager who allegedly sent over 400 hoax emails of bomb threats to schools. They claim that this team is linked to an NGO with connections to a political party. Not just that, the cops have also claimed that the same NGO has been associated with attempts to legitimize and back Afzal Guru, the mastermind behind the 2001 parliament attack. Now, according to the police, their investigation will now focus on if there was a larger conspiracy. Listen in.
लैपटॉप है और उसके जो मोबाइल फ़ोन वो इस्तेमाल करता था, उसकी हमने फोरेंसिक जांच की तो हमें पता चला है कि इस बच्चे ने कम से कम 400 से भी ज़्यादा स्कूल्स को ये ईमेल भेजी थी। बैकग्राउंड प्रोफाइलिंग की। प्रोफाइलिंग करने से ये पता चला कि इस बच्चे के एक अभिभावक जिस संस्था में काम करते हैं वहाँ पे एक एनजीओ एक्टिव रूप से काम करता है और इस एनजीओ का एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के साथ डीप कनेक्शन भी हमको मिला है। ये एनजीओ एक ऐसे सिविल सोसाइटी ग्रुप का पार्ट है जो कि जैसे अफजल गुरु की हैंगिंग की लेजिटिमेसी को लेकर प्रश्न उठाता है और अलग अलग मुद्दों पर वो एक पर्टिकुलर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का हिमायती रहा है, उनका लगातार समर्थन करता है।
Now, while the Delhi police have not named the political party, BJP MP Sudhanshu Trivedi has publicly stated it's the Aam Aadmi Party and has also identified Delhi Chief Minister Atishi's parents of being previously working to defend Afzal Guru. The Aam Aadmi Party has vehemently denied these claims. Listen in.
क्या कोई अल्पवयस्क बालक या अपने मन से कर रहा है, इसका मतलब उसे शिक्षा कैसी दी जा रही है? दूसरा, या वो सिर्फ मोहरा है और उसके पेरेंट्स और जो पीछे के एनजीओज हैं उनकी इसमें कोई भूमिका है? वो एनजीओ के लोग कौन हैं? उनका आम आदमी पार्टी से कोई संबंध है क्या? क्योंकि ये बात हम ऐसे हवा में नहीं कह रहे हैं। आम आदमी पार्टी की मुख्यमंत्री आतिशी मरलेना जी के दोनों पेरेंट्स ने अफजल गुरु की क्लीमेंसी के पिटीशन का समर्थन किया था। अब ऐसी जानकारी लगती है और यह ऐसा ही गहरा संदेह आता है जो पुष्ट होता हुआ नजर आता है कि क्या इस चीज में आम आदमी पार्टी का या उनसे जुड़े एनजीओ का कोई संबंध है।
छोटे छोटे बच्चों के स्कूल को उड़ाने की मिल रही धमकी को राजनीतिक लाभ के लिए 10 महीने में कोई जांच आपकी नहीं हुई, कुछ पता नहीं चला 10 महीने में आपको। अचानक 15 दिन पहले एक मनगढ़ंत कहानी लेके आप आ गए। मैं भाजपाइयों से पूछना चाहता हूं कि तुम्हारी पुलिस में नियुक्ति कब से हुई? सुधांशु त्रिवेदी जी, वो दिल्ली के पुलिस कमिश्नर हो गए। स्मृति ईरानी जी महिला पुलिस कमिश्नर हो गई, वो बोल रही हैं। अनुराग ठाकुर को ज्वाइंट सीपी बना दिया गया है, वो बोल रहे हैं। अरे तुम लोग अपने दफ्तर में रिपोर्ट तैयार करते हो, कहां से लेके आते हो भाई? न नेता है, न नीति है, न नीयत है, सिर्फ आरोप प्रत्यारोप है।
Now, this is a complicated affair and we don't want to jump to conclusions. So we are asking 3 questions to 3 stakeholders. To the police, we're asking, can you directly link the NGO and the political party to hoaxes? Is there direct evidence? For Aam Aadmi Party, our question is, did you then deliberately engineer panic? Because every time these hoax calls was going on, the question was coming, the statement coming from Arvind Kejriwal was, this is Jungle Raj going on in Delhi, there is a Darka Mahal going on. For the BJP, then the question is, when the Delhi police has not raised or not cleared which these identities are, who the party is, who the NGO is, why has the BJP jumped to conclusions? Who is really engineering an atmosphere of fear in Delhi and who stands to benefit from it? Some clear questions to some guests who want to keep this debate short and snappy. Dr. Anil Gupta, spokesperson of the Delhi BJP, Arvind Kumar Jain, former DGP Uttar Pradesh, Syed Asad Abbas, political analyst, someone who understands the Aam Aadmi Party, and Aditya Pratap, advocate, joining me on the panel at this point. Good evening, all gentlemen. Let me start with Arvind Kumar, sir. Mr. Jain, let me please clarify it for our viewers at this point here. I don't understand how, according to the principle of justice here, if a juvenile has been accused of a crime, he's been investigated, he has been apprehended by the cops. What was the need for the police to come out and dig into and give the details of which NGO his father was working on, and what that NGO has done in the past, and what are that NGOs linked with the political party? If a person is accused of a crime, do the antecedents of his near family members have any direct relevance to a crime?
It can have relevance because that political party has been criticizing Delhi police left and right, and criticizing that there is no law and order, and even children in schools are getting bomb threats. So police can also level allegations. It is not that police cannot level allegations. They must be
So are you
having
saying the
proof for
police
that,
and a
and police.
political party have the same level of responsibility?
No, not that, not that. After all, police is also manned by human beings, and once you keep on accusing them that Delhi police has failed in its job, and so many threats are coming, and schools are being closed time and again, so even they can come out, and I'm sure, pretty sure that Mr. Madhup Tiwari and police must be having solid base for leveling this kind of allegation. Otherwise, no police officer can level such allegations.
Okay. Dr. Anil Gupta, then let me then come to my next aspect. The police, Mr. Jain says the police had every right and I'm sure basis to level these allegations. But the police never named the party, never named the individual who's the political leader, never named the NGO at this point. What then leads to this leap of imagination which the BJP has come to say that, Atishi's NGO, Atishi's parents were part of an NGO which were defending Afzal Guru. That means it must have been her parents or her NGO which has been involved in this case at this point. How is this not irresponsible to make these conjectures when the police themselves have not made that connection?
Yeah, good evening to you and all the viewers. See, the activities of Aam Aadmi Party MLAs and leaders normally have the criminal charges, normally have the anti-national. I gave you some examples. If you check the record, half of them, their MLAs have the criminal record. Recently, Aam Aadmi Party MLA Naresh, a whole episode was there when he had a link with the gangster. Because every day they talk about the law and order situations. Even recently, some Bangladeshi agents were caught. On interrogation, they said Aam Aadmi Party MLA Mahinder Goyal and Jai Bhagwan used to certify their documents. Still interrogation is there. If I talk of the Arvind Kejriwal, who sat on the now Republic Day, it is also true that Aam Aadmi Party took money from the organization which have the anti-national agenda.
No, Dr. Gupta,
It is also,
even if all these charges are true, even if all these cases of Aam Aadmi Party leaders supposedly being anti-national are true, you have still not given me any evidence on the basis of what Sudhanshu Trivedi claimed that the NGO in question was the NGO run by Atishi ji's parents, or the fact that the political party in question was the Aam Aadmi Party. I'm talking of the Mudde ki issue. Where is this link which the BJP has got?
I was about to answer your question. I was giving you the base because their activities is normally the anti-national. Everybody is aware. Who signed the mercy petition for Afzal Guru? The parents of Atishi ji. That is a known thing. Even the police officer who gave all these things, I just saw in your TV channels, he clearly mentioned that person, that jubilant father is linked to an NGO who has a link with the political parties, and that NGO and that political party supporters or what, they signed the petition. It is a directly or indirectly the Atishi parents. And one more thing.
Okay.
Every time the hoax calls were made, immediately the reaction was there from the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party about the law and order. They never talked about the Naresh, who is their MLA. They never talked about the Mahinder Goyal. They never talked about the other criminal
And I think
activities
that
of
is
their
the key
MLAs.
point.
But every time
That
the
is the
Hoax
key point which you said, Anil Gupta ji, and I want to put that across at this point to Syed Asad Abbas. Say now, firstly, let's be honest here. Yes, I agree that on what basis can you come up with names, but even in our edit room, the moment we heard the press conference from the Delhi police, the first assumption which everyone did, yeah, we all remember which NGO it's very clear to try and guess which NGO is involved. But even if we don't go by that point, in every crime, they say there has to be a motive involved. And the motive is clear because every time these hoaxes happened, and I have debated them several times on my channel, an Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson has come and said, see, this is proof. Delhi police is completely failing in its law and order. This is why we deserve full statehood. Delhi police's home ministry is deliberately screwing the health, the security of the national capital in order to ensure that there's jungle Raj that's going on. So there was a clear motive to these hoaxes going on. At least the Aam Aadmi Party was looking to benefit from it.
Vedanshu, firstly, I'm very happy that the police is able to crack this case. Of course, it's happened 10 months after, but I'm glad. We can always question the timing, but this has taken place. Hearty congratulations and kudos to the bravado of Delhi police. Coming to the point that the simple question is, I as a viewer of Mirror now ask, how is it that the juvenile who is caught in this crime, how is it that the Aam Aadmi Party is complicit of this crime? I think there needs to be a clear establishment of the same from the Delhi police. Now, they mention of the NGO. I was also keenly listening to my BJP spokesperson friend. Respected sir, you said that Atishi's parent signed the mercy petition, which makes them anti-national. So you need to really read the constitution. Mercy petition is allowed in a constitution, and they didn't do anything which is anti-constitution or anti-national. So therefore, I think the Bharatiya Janata Party needs to be a lot more responsible in presenting Aam Aadmi Party or any of its leaders as anti-nationals. Now, coming to this specific bomb hoax calls, I think though the person who has made it was a juvenile, and he must be reprimanded as per the juvenile law of this country. Now, is Aam Aadmi Party complicit of the crime? Let there be a clear-cut investigation on the front. But only because one member of one NGO linked to a political party does not make them complicit of the crime. If that is the case, then I've seen many big leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party hobnobbing with the likes of Swami Nityananda, our own Prime Minister, with Asaram Bapu, our own Prime Minister, even with Sant Rahim Ram Singh. So that does not make them any complicit of the
No, but
crime. They have done book
Syed, again,
launches.
we
They have done
discussed a
many
lot about
events
karma in the
together.
previous debate as well. Is it a law of political karma that the Aam Aadmi Party, that's what Mr. Jain is also saying, that the Aam Aadmi Party did not think twice about whether the Delhi police was doing its job or not? By the way, it's not an investigation that happened 10 months later. This juvenile has been picked up after the recent spurt of hoaxes which happened earlier this month. And he's been connected to all through the hoaxes. So the point is, if the Aam Aadmi Party could blame the Delhi police and at the drop of a hat call it Jungle Raj and say that, you are responsible for this, the Delhi police or maybe the BJP is well within rights to accuse the Aam Aadmi Party back of fomenting this problem in the first place.
The fact of the matter, we need to understand that, be it the Delhi police or any state police, there will be questions raised. I do understand, I did get into the nitty-gritties of the case. A VPN network was used. And as per the Delhi police, to establish a connect with the VPN is quite a challenge. But of course, in situations like this, since the responsibility lies with the Delhi police, question will be raised in matters of accountability. I think Delhi being a ruling party, not having the police under them, it of course comes under the Home Ministry department. So that would certainly be a challenge. And rightfully so, Aam Aadmi Party can hold the Delhi police accountable. It's unfortunate that this person is a juvenile, a part of an NGO, and so on and so forth. But one thing really must be established here: the link of the NGO with the Aam Aadmi Party and the NGO being complicit. Is it the individual in his person capacity or the NGO is doing it? So let us
That's a fair
understand that
point.
front.
That's a fair point. And that brings me back to the initial question which I asked Mr. Jain. Let me get in Aditya Pratap to talk about the legalese of it. Aditya, to my understanding, there are two separate issues. While you can argue about the morality of filing a mercy plea to ask for clemency for Afzal Guru, no laws were broken. Here, a law was broken in terms of the chaos it caused, about 400 hoaxes. Is it fair or legally tenable for the Delhi police to make an association between a moral ambivalence versus a clear-cut prima facie case of a violation of law just because of family bonds?
Very good question. And let me tell you that the issue being referred to here is basically the concept of guilt by association. Now, the Indian legal system eschews guilt by association unless or until there's a special statute for it. For example, Maharashtra Control of Organized Crimes Act, MACOCA, where being a member of a criminal gang will get you involved in criminal charges by virtue of guilt by association. However, when it comes to family relationships, political affiliations, etc., guilt by association has no place in Indian criminal jurisprudence. Now, the child in question has given a series of hoax calls. He has sent it to 400 schools, caused widespread mayhem and chaos. And the provisions of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, the IT Act, and the Juvenile Justice Act are more than adequate to deal with it. On the other hand, we have stricter provisions of the UAPA also. But for that, you have to bring in the element of terrorism. You can say that there was this child, this who was doctored or tutored by people to send a series of emails to cause mayhem and chaos. And then some unknown, some nefarious entity takes advantage of that when the attention of law enforcement gets diverted. But clearly, for this angle, you need clear and thorough police investigation. Now, ultimately, I would put a question to the police. The boy has sent a hoax call, has sent a hoax email. You have seized all the IT data. You can easily file a charge sheet against him. Can you file a charge sheet against his parents? Because there has to be some element. Because first you have the child, then you have the parents of the child. Now remember, a child's legal guardian or the parents whatsoever, they may face civil liability for the acts of the child, but not criminal liability. Criminal liability only sticks to the person.
So then let me straight away, without wasting any more time, let me then get Mr. Jain to respond to the question. Mr. Jain, can a direct link be, at the end of the day, can the Delhi police really involve or name the family or the party or the NGO as co-accused in the case? If they can't, did they have any business mentioning this link?
It will be very difficult for Delhi police to establish it. But if they succeed in it, it will be a good job. And I think that's why Madhub Tiwari didn't come out openly against the NGO or against the political party. But BJP took advantage of it because the elections are approaching in Delhi, and that's why they have linked it to AAP party. And
precisely. And Dr. Anil Gupta, then is that not a case of convenient timing that the Delhi police comes very conveniently, gives a very open goal, leaves an open goal for the BJP to come and score a goal at this point here? We have established legally that guilty by association is not a valid charge right now, especially when MACOCA, or in this case UAP, has not been put on the case of it. Then isn't it very convenient that just 2 or 3 weeks before the election, Delhi police makes a very open-ended statement, does not make a very clear evidence between the two, and then leaves it open for the BJP to say that, this is a party of anti-nationals, so they are the ones who are creating this problem?
Yeah, even at the cost of repetition, I again tell you some points. Just today also, 2 MLAs of Aam Aadmi Party, Mr. Jai Bhagan and Mender Goyal, they are integrated by Delhi police for certifying the Bangladeshi citizens' documents. And this Kejriwal Saab and Aam Aadmi Party leaders are raising these voter issues. In fact, they are inconvenienced with these Bangladeshis, Rohingyas, to make their vote and get these votes in election. I have also
Dr.
mentioned...
Anil Gupta, you are again you're doing exactly what Aditya Pratap, come in at this point. Isn't this exactly guilt by association? The BJP is playing the political war. I'm fair enough, Dr. Gupta. You have every right to play the propaganda. You have every right to play the war over narratives at this point. But this is a very serious case here. You cannot bring in, इन्होंने किया है, तो इनके सारे लोग ऐसे ही करते हैं, तो इन्हें Syed wants to make a point. Go ahead, Syed, quickly.
Ritanshu Saab, absolutely. The simple point that I'd like to make here is, look at the timing of this front. How, like you said, sir, it certainly gives an open goal. It is clearly directing towards the Aam Aadmi Party, the so-called party, links with the NGO and this juvenile working there. And Dr. Anil Gupta Sahab does not answer the question. He in turn speaks of 2 MLAs. So you mentioned 2 AAP MLAs. Delhi police is investigating. Let them do so. Right or wrong, the law and order decide. But you still don't answer on the timing of this front. Is it done to benefit your party and the votes? And anti-national, you call them, sir. On what ground?
Okay,
Is
Anil
Arvind
Gupta,
Kejriwal
quickly
on Aam
respond.
Aadmi Party?
Talk about the timing,
UAP?
Anil Gupta ji, talk about the timing.
Yeah, I am also asking, what was the timing of holding the press conference just after the Hoax calls? Then nobody asked the Aam Aadmi
put
Party
an
leader.
allegation, so there
What is
will
the
be a press
timing?
conference, sir.
No. Because I'm now
He's
challenging them.
Said, what
Because
Dr. Gupta is
they
saying
are
about
in
the press
collision.
conferences which the Aam Aadmi Party put out immediately after these hoax calls,
Immediately after
directly
hoax calls,
saying the
yes.
Delhi police is failing in its job.
Yes.
Sir, I will
That's right.
definitely answer you. I will answer you. I will definitely answer you. Aam Aadmi Party is in governance. Therefore, Delhi police is accountable for the law and order, so they will do the press conference. But sir, you've still not answered me on the timing during election.
I have replied. I have replied. Yeah, I have replied. Why? That was the
What
timing.
is the answer?
Just after
I'm
the
still
bomb ups,
waiting.
they wanted to create the panic in Delhi. They wanted to
Sir,
create.
I'm
They
still
wanted to
waiting.
raise
You're
the
not
question on the law and
answering.
order. I'm saying now because Delhi police officers have raised the issue, and we are there to have a link because the NGO, the parents of the child, they are linked to the NGO who
Okay, I think Aditya Pratap, I'll come to you for the last word. I have to wrap up at this point. If you can say in just 20 seconds while this goes on, aren't we looking at a very dangerous pretext? Both the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party are very within the rights to play the political game and game of narratives here. But this is a serious issue over hoax bomb threats, which affected many, many children and parents for a year at this point, literally terrorized them. Isn't a dangerous precedent being set?
See, I would like to exercise a word of caution for Delhi police that, see, you are conducting an investigation into a sensitive matter. And as per the law, the case diary of the investigating officer is confidential. Your case diary remains confidential till you collect all the evidence and then you compile a charge sheet and file it in a court of law. So ideally, Delhi police should be giving its press conference at the stage of filing the charge sheet, because ultimately what happens is here, whether you're going to charge sheet them as accused or not,
but evidently what we have seen, Aditya Pratap, I'm so sorry to cut you short. I have to wrap up at this point, but I completely get your point. What's happening is that politics once again is superseding the process of the law. Thank you all, gentlemen, for joining me on a fascinating debate. It's time for a short break.